Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Memory Hunt, the czar of the playbook, bring you an NFL Week 1 preview between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Cleveland Browns. Let's start with Philadelphia in this ballgame. You look at their offense. I like the matchup with the outside running of the Philadelphia Eagles versus those Browns outside linebackers. You want to put those linebackers at a disadvantage where they're going to have to set the edge and stop the run. That's something I haven't seen the Browns outside backers do so far. And I like both Clay Harbor and Brent Selleck. I think that tight end duo is one of the more underrated duos in the league. Get both of those guys on the field in certain situations, and it helps ease the pressure on Michael Vick, and he can easily get that football out of his hands to one of those valuable tight ends. An early screen game with the running backs, they have to get back to the screens. The Eagles used to run outstanding screens. You got to get back to the screen game. Early screen game can help back up that potential pressure, because I'm sure the Browns will want to get after Vick and get some early hits and warm his ribs up a little bit. So you want to make sure you reintegrate the screen game in your offense. Now defensively, you want to show press at the line of scrimmage versus Brandon Weeden. Weeden is a guy, he's one of those see it through it type of quarterbacks. Early press, show press, but you can still drop back in your zones. You can still play man, but show press, and that throws off the timing of the Browns offense. And you want to turn up the heat and flush him out of the pocket. If he has a clean pocket to stand back there at his original launch pad spot, he can eat up a defense. I like the way he throws the football. And the linebackers versus the run game is going to be vital. You have to attack the Browns at the line of scrimmage in the run game in order to have success. The X factor for the Eagles, Bobby April, the special teams coach. Back the Browns up, make them drive the length of the field, and you can have some success in stopping what Cleveland wants to do offensively. Now, when you look at the Browns in this situation, offensively, they have to make sure they run at the Eagles' pressure. The Eagles will turn up the heat and come after Brandon Weeden. The best way to stop pressure is to run right at it. It's the old saying, the way you stop a bully, you punch him in the mouth. So that's what the Eagles have to, that's what the Browns have to do against the Eagles defense. And the backs in the passing game, Trent Richardson, underrated receiver out of the backfield. Hardesty, underrated receiver out of the backfield. Get those guys in those routes, dump the football off. That could also supplement it as your running game. And the offensive line has to give Weeden a chance. The reason why the Eagles put a lot of pressure on opposing offensive lines because they have a lot of depth. So when you're at if you're at your 75th play as a lineman, they're at their 35th play because of the rotation. That can be a problem. So the offensive line has to make sure they give Weeden a chance. Defensively, the pressure has to come from the interior, not the outside. Do not give Michael Vick a clear lane to take off and run. And the defensive line has to utilize proper technique versus run. It's all about run fits, setting the edge, and collapsing the pocket on LaShawn McCoy, because he also can hit the cutback lane, close the back door, and with that gap discipline, you can have a chance versus the Eagles running department. X factor has to be Dick Jauron, the defensive coordinator. He has to call a great game against Michael Vick, and I think the Browns do have solid talent defensively to do so. So the X factor for the Browns has to be Dick Jauron. Now you look at the positional breakdowns in this ball game. Clearly, the quarterback, running back, receiver, all go to the Philadelphia Eagles in my opinion. They have the best offense in this matchup. Tight end is also another key thing. Offensive line, defensive line. It could be tough for the Cleveland Browns to move the football. However, Cleveland's defense is tough. They have the best secondary, in my opinion, from corner to corner. I love their safeties as well. So I think they have the best opportunity in the special teams department and as well as the secondary. Josh Cribbs is an outstanding returner, and their coverage units is outstanding as well. So the Browns have some positions that they can win, but the Eagles have the bulk of the matchup. Now, looking at that positional breakdown, you can see, oh, the Eagles could win this in a landslide. This game is going to be close. The Browns defense will keep them in it, and if they can get something going offensively, they could have the potential to upset Philadelphia in Week 1. But I'm going with the Eagles. I like the matchups on the ground. I think LaShawn McCoy will have some success running the football against that Browns front seven.